The internet, a vast and endless frontier. We, the everyday users, only see the surface, but beneath, hidden in the shadows, lies the dark web. A place where anonymity reigns supreme, a breeding ground for illicit activities and unspeakable horrors. The dark web is not for the faint of heart. It's a place where nightmares come to life, where stories of human depravity and unimaginable cruelty circulate. Stories that would make even the most hardened skeptic question their sanity. These are not just stories, they are glimpses into the darkest corners of the human psyche, a stark reminder that monsters do exist, lurking in the shadows, waiting for their next victim. Are you ready to descend into the abyss, to explore the terrifying depths of the dark web? Be warned, once you enter, you may never escape the horrors that await you. One of the most chilling tales from the dark web is the legend of the Red Rooms, said to be live torture chambers where viewers can pay to inflict pain on real people. Hidden deep within the darkest recesses of the dark web, accessible only through encrypted networks and secret passwords. The price of entry? A hefty sum of Bitcoin. While there's no concrete evidence, the rumors persist. Fueled by whispers on dark web forums, some believe they are just an urban legend. But what if they are real? The thought alone is enough to send shivers down your spine. In the annals of dark web horror stories, the case of the Daisy Destruction videos stands out for its sheer depravity and mystery. The videos depicted the brutal torture and dismemberment of innocent animals, often young ones, with daisies placed around their bodies. These disturbing videos first surfaced on the dark web in the early 2010s, shocking law enforcement and internet users alike. The graphic content sparked a massive manhunt for the perpetrators. Despite international efforts, the individuals behind the Daisy Destruction videos were never caught. Their identities remain a mystery, adding to the chilling nature of the case. The videos serve as a grim reminder of the darkness lurking beneath the internet. Stories of human trafficking have always sent shivers down our spines. The dark web, with its cloak of anonymity, has become a breeding ground for this heinous crime. One of the most disturbing tales to emerge is that of the human auction. These auctions, allegedly hosted on hidden websites, showcase human beings for sale to the highest bidder. Men, women, and even children are treated like commodities, their lives traded for cold, hard cryptocurrency. The details of these auctions are as horrifying as they are scarce. Victims are said to be kept in deplorable conditions, tortured and abused, their captors stripping them of their dignity and humanity. While the existence of these auctions is yet to be definitively proven, the very possibility is enough to make your blood run cold. It's a stark reminder that even in the 21st century, slavery is alive and well, hidden in the shadows, thriving in the dark corners of the internet. Section 5. The origins and spread of dark web horror stories. Where do these dark web horror stories come from? Who creates them? The answer is as complex and multifaceted as the dark web itself. Some stories may be rooted in reality, distorted accounts of real events that have been embellished and exaggerated over time. Others may be pure fiction, fabricated tales designed to shock and horrify. The dark web, with its anonymity and lack of regulation, provides the perfect breeding ground for such stories to flourish. They spread like wildfire through forums and chat rooms, passed from user to user, each retelling adding a new layer of horror. It's often difficult to separate fact from fiction on the dark web. But whether real or fabricated, these stories tap into our deepest fears and anxieties. They remind us that there are dark forces at play in the world, forces that most of us are fortunate enough to never encounter. Section 6. The psychology of fear. Why we're drawn to the macabre. Why are we so drawn to these dark web horror stories? What is it about the macabre and the unknown that fascinates us? The answer, psychologists say, lies in our primal instincts. Fear is a basic human emotion. It's hardwired into our DNA, a survival mechanism that has kept our species alive for millennia. When we're afraid, our bodies go into fight or flight mode, preparing us to either confront the threat or flee to safety. Horror stories, even those from the depths of the dark web, trigger this primal fear response. But instead of running away, we often find ourselves drawn to the fear. We crave the adrenaline rush, the feeling of being on the edge of our seats. There's also an element of curiosity at play. We want to know what lurks in the shadows. We want to test the limits of our own fear and confront the things that scare us the most. Section 7. The thin line between reality and fiction on the dark web. The dark web, by its very nature, is shrouded in secrecy and misinformation. This makes it incredibly difficult to verify the authenticity of the stories that emerge from its depths. Many stories are likely embellished or fabricated entirely, spread by users seeking to gain notoriety or simply to mess with newcomers. The lack of accountability on the dark web makes it the perfect breeding ground for rumors and urban legends. However, it's important to remember that just because a story is unverified doesn't mean it's not true. The dark web is a real place with real dangers, and some of the stories that emerge from it may be based on actual events. The challenge lies in separating fact from fiction, in discerning the genuine horrors from the fabricated ones. It's a task that requires a healthy dose of skepticism and a willingness to question everything you read. Section 8. The dangers of seeking out the dark web. While the dark web may seem like a thrilling place to explore, it's important to remember that it's not a game. There are real dangers lurking within its depths. The anonymity that the dark web provides cuts both ways. It protects the innocent and the guilty alike. This makes it a haven for criminals involved in activities like drug trafficking, arms dealing, and even human trafficking. Exploring the dark web can also expose you to disturbing content that you can't unsee. Content that can leave you feeling traumatized and emotionally scarred. Furthermore, simply accessing the dark web can be risky. If you don't take the necessary precautions, you could become the target of hackers or other malicious actors. The dark web is a dangerous place, and it's best left to law enforcement officials and cybersecurity experts who have the knowledge and experience to navigate its treacherous waters. Section 9. The unseen and unknown, the enduring allure of the dark web. Despite the dangers, the dark web continues to hold a certain allure for many. It's a place of mystery and intrigue, where anything goes and nothing is off limits. The human psyche is naturally drawn to the unknown. We crave the forbidden, the things that are hidden from view. The dark web, with its promise of anonymity and access to the forbidden, taps into this primal desire. For some, the dark web represents a challenge, a way to test their limits and explore the darkest corners of the internet. Others may be drawn to its sense of community, a place where they can connect with like-minded individuals who share their interests, no matter how taboo they may be. Whatever the reason, the dark web's allure is undeniable. It's a place that continues to fascinate and horrify us in equal measure. Section 10. Conclusion. The dark web, a breeding ground for fear and fascination. The dark web is a place of contradictions. It's a place of fear and fascination, of horror and intrigue. It's a place where the worst of humanity can thrive, but also where the human spirit can find a sense of community and belonging. The stories that emerge from the dark web, whether real or fabricated, serve as a stark reminder of the darkness that exists in the world. They force us to confront the uncomfortable truth that there are people out there who are capable of unspeakable acts. But these stories also remind us of the importance of vigilance and critical thinking. In the age of the internet, where information spreads at lightning speed, it's more important than ever to be able to separate fact from fiction. The dark web is a dangerous place, but it's also a fascinating one. It's a place that will continue to capture our imaginations and haunt our nightmares for years to come.